Optimistic.
Yes, yes, we have certainly seemingly hit some pay dirt here. We're back with pay dirt.
Yeah. More things. Let's see what we rolled. We have to move backwards 2.
Okay.
2.
Ooh, let me see if I just recorded this. 64. Yeah, 62. You realize that some ancient taboo or limitation you long believed is no longer applies. What circumstances prompted this discovery? How does this make your existence more satisfying? Change one checked or unchecked skill in a way that's relevant. That's interesting.
We can change a skill
Checked
because
or
there's some
unchecked.
limitation, something we used to live by that we don't have to anymore.
All right, let's see what we have.
Of course, the blacked out one we can't touch at all.
No, that's lost.
Out of the game. I mean, what limitations did we have
Yeah, that's the thing. What did we
that are
exactly?
now no longer counting?
It's like some sort of like Viking honor,
Yeah.
like some sort of blood debt or like something. Skill. Ooh, something relevant.
Yeah, I mean, our life becomes more satisfying. So maybe just this is a hard one for us.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe we remember Halvard. Maybe we remember him giving us the arm ring. Maybe we realize that externalized value, like our us getting our worth based on what we do,
Yeah.
isn't necessary. Maybe if we have value simply for being what we are,
Mm-hmm.
and that seems like a thing we could be smug about,
Sure.
self-satisfied,
Don't
and,
need to.
lean back and say, "Ugh, I have." I don't need to go raiding to prove myself.
It would be the
I don't need to.
raiding, maybe like the long shipbuilding, or like the ancient dream of raiding East Anglia or something. Taboo. Really, is that some ancient taboo or limitation you long believed in no longer applies? Taboo or limit? What would be a Viking taboo?
That doesn't apply in the 14th century.
Viking taboo. I might regret googling this. We'll see.
Okay.
Uh,
Hmm.
hmm. Um, mean. There is actually a blog post about this stuff. I'm just gonna be here. Yeah, practitioners and titles. Gender norms, sexual taboos of the Vikings.
It could be a religious thing, couldn't it?
Okay.
Like maybe we have always believed that we lost out on the afterlife, or
Maybe.
that we were cursed to hell or something.
Maybe.
And we begin realizing that there is, it's all. Look at the world. How could all this misery It would be
Yeah,
justified by anything.
it could certainly be that the Norse gods are dead. I mean, look at them; they're
Yeah.
dead. I don't
You
need to
know,
care
the
about
world.
honor or like this stuff anymore.
Yeah. We've always been like, well, we cannot feast with our ancestors now. We were
Hmm.
cursed on the ship with the sickness. But maybe, I mean, look around you. Clearly, the world has ended.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I think that makes sense.
that makes sense.
We
Yes,
give up our faith, as it were. Not that we were ever super religious, but we had beliefs, right?
yeah, we did.
I feel like this goes in too.
Yeah.
I think part of who we are. I don't think there's a skill that's necessarily relevant for us to change.
Two is full though, right?
Is it?
So one,
Oh,
two,
sorry, I was looking at the diary. Oh,
three, right? Um,
that's full. That's full.
I mean,
That's full.
this is our casting off the past. So starting a new memory seems irrelevant.
Oh, what do we forget? Maybe the Shalma thing. We replace it. Maybe I mean, we remembered it, but now maybe this is processing it.
Would we then change the haunting portrait painting to something reflecting that,
Yeah, that could be.
like like change it to something that would reflect, like we paint our paintings, we relive, we see the faces of the old, and then we look around us and realize that the world has, yeah, like it's not around anymore. Like all of these Norse beliefs of feasting with your ancestors, honor in battle,
It's wrong.
all of that just didn't matter in the end. There was no, like, look at this. There's no Odin. There's no Thor. Like all of this is just,
Like starving Christian peasants eating each other.
yeah, look at this. Their god doesn't save them apparently, so and ours
Look
didn't
at
save us.
ours.
So
Oh, yeah.
we would change the skill to something that makes us, and that makes us free in a way, right? We just
Yeah.
like just uh um no limitations.
Nihilistic free.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Well, I mean,
nice
so
freedom.
all right, yeah. Let's go with it. The past doesn't matter. It's all, we will laugh as it all burns. All right, I'm gonna take this then, and we're forgetting about Halldamir again because we've
Yep.
decided to cope with the situation that it is not it's not important. Yes, things happened. They seemed important at the time, but now I realize there's no need for all that. And it was which
Nihilistic hedonistic freedom.
hmm, sure.
Hedonistic freedom is
That's more like
depending on how dark you want to. Nihilistic is very much like, yeah, you laugh as the world burn around you because why does it all matter? Hedonistic, bit more, like you enjoy a good party. Again, calling back to famous host days, I guess. I mean, we could combine them into a nihilistic hedonistic freedom. Just have these all-out blasted orgies.
well, I don't think there's going to be a lot of parties these days. I mean, everyone's starving and
True.
there's no food, so
So you prefer nihilistic freedom then? Like we simply don't care about
maybe I
any
mean,
of this.
like maybe like agnostic even. It
Agnostic
seems like
freedom.
we're just like there's no
Uh, um,
we don't feel limited by
yeah, we don't feel limited anymore, and that would be a skill. Um,
unlimited power. Go. All right. So the thing I have gazed uh on my paintings of memories. And I see the misery of the world around me. No gods, divine powers act upon it. Uh, and in this realization, I find an immense peace. Yeah, right. I realized taboo does no longer apply. What led you to this discovery? The terrible misery. How does it make you satisfying? We don't have to fear anything anymore.
There's no hell.
Yeah. Let's just go with this. Let's go with nihilistic freedom. Is it
Nihilistic.
changing? So we just remove this one.
Yeah.
Paintings of it's that become and you can imagine the paintings look now very different,
Yes.
irreverent even.
Yep.
Yeah, some of that, like we were a little hard on that, like Italian realism or whatever you call it after the First World War, where it's all
Sure.
just like weird evil trains and such.
Sure.
We're like, yeah, it's all messed up, and it's all people, it's all mortals.
Mortals.
We are our own prisoners.
Just about my
Yeah,
paintings and memories. I see the misery of the world around me. No gods or divine powers act upon it. And this realization, I find immense peace.
yeah. We don't fear anything. We don't.
Yeah, there's no like there's no
We
god to
cannot
punish.
be judged
We cannot be judged.
because look at it. Look at all this.
Look at it.
Just the misery. Here's the thing, people. We're in the beginning of the century.
Yes, we haven't seen.
At a like good 10-year famine
Yep.
of 80% of people. The Black Death is coming. There's a Mongol invasion. It's gonna be
Quite the ride
not
here.
the one you want to be in, really. If we make it out, then it's still gonna be kind of crap for a while.
Never uncross the nihilistic freedom. It's going to be forever. We have
Well, the thing is,
reached.
whatever we do in the future, we're gonna approach it with nihilistic freedom.
Yes,
What does that even mean? We just don't care anymore.
just our complete disregard for anything. Yep.
All right. Let's see. It's your turn. So
The
roll
king is
dice.
here. I just murder him. Just go up,
Yeah.
rip his goddamn head off.
Kill him. I mean, screw it, right? Like, why even?
Go full
even
murder hobo. That's our skill.
There's a plot. Fine.
PC murder hobo.
We don't feel
All
bad.
right. Let's keep throwing here. Oh my, we are going forward 4.
66.
See that I entered this properly here. 60. Yeah. Going to.
Oh no, your knowledge is outmoded. Lose an unchecked skill, which is now useless.
Oh.
We lose our freedom.
No.
Oh
no.
I don't know how it's outmoded.
It's like actually.
I guess that means that what we do is we go and do things, feeling free about it that nobody cares about. It's not actually a big deal. We go
we thought we were edgy, but everyone is just dying from.
We raise like an old like stone circle. We're like, take that, Odin, and people is like, what?
And like we are dying from famine and Black Death over here. We don't have
Not fair,
time.
like blaspheming heathen gods.
Yes.
Let's go with that.
What a bummer. We try to be edgy, but we fail.
I excavate the ancient grave of a northern lord. We've traveled for this, right? We can go up to northern Germany. In Flanders.
Mm-hmm.
And I claim his heathen gold.
Mm-hmm.
Were there gods, they would curse me for my call that? My
Sacrilege, my disrespect.
sacrilege. But I know, smugly, that nothing is watching me. So edgy. So, oh, look at all these things I'm doing. Oh, look at, I took an arm ring and I took the Thor's hammer and I broke it. Oh, what a shame.
home, turning home. No one is impressed or even shocked by my act. I suppose time has truly kill it's like the long time is just made like I'm so out of touch in a way. Like I'm like I thought I was very edgy and cool, but everyone's like, why do I not even remember these anymore?
Time has truly moved like moved the bar, you know.
Yeah, move I suppose yeah, the times live in truly moved.
Moved.
Distorted.
Yeah. Truly distorted. I'm yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking perceptions are right and wrong.
Yeah.
So we're basically on the same tone there.
Yeah, we thought it was so cool.
People are gonna be like, "Ah, there's no gods. We can just go and do all these things.
Look at me.
Look, Odin, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" And people are just like,
Joel, can I eat that? Like, there's
"Yeah,
a famine going on.
I
Help.
don't even who's Odin? What?
What? Old who? Does he have any food? I don't know. And we're like, oh, God damn it.
Give me the bones for the marrow." And you're like,
Yes.
"Oh, boy."
Oh boy, oh boy.
Okay, well, freedom was useless. We did it, but
It was
we came home and nobody cared. We were like, "Oh,
nobody cared of how cool we were.
all right, well, our night order that came with us, they were not impressed either."
No.
Well, we go forward 6, so, I guess we're done with that. So now we're at 72.
72.
Look at this, we're racing ahead.
You are caught outside and destroyed. What happened? The game is over.
Well, that escalated.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, we die.
All right, that's it.
That's it.
What the fuck?
I guess we pushed, too far, I think.
I guess we did. We just, in our nihilistic fury, we just.
Well, no, we wanna, I mean, sort of, game-wise, I figure, prompt-wise, we're probably at near the end of the prompt, so that's probably where, we killed. Looking just here, what is the last prompt number? How many are there? There's 80 prompts, so
80 prompts.
I figure, we might have reached a deadly high number.
Maybe, yeah. I suppose when you reach the max number, though, you sort of just start over again. I think, right?
Yeah, no, I think you die. That's
Yeah,
my
I
guess.
think so.
This one? I mean, there's no more entries here, right? It's just a page you die.
Just nothing.
All right, well, I guess this is all mute at this
I
point.
suppose so. I suppose so.
Let's talk. How do we get caught out in the sun and destroyed? What's happening that actually ends us, right? Because we're in the 14th century. We're doing okay. We have our strange wheat. We have our bannerets. We have our knights of the Black Communion. We have all these resources. Of course, that don't matter. They can't necessarily stop the sun. So we were out doing sacrilegious things, feeling all cool.
Yeah, we sure did. Maybe I think like the response from we get home just drives us into even more. Like we're like, oh yeah, Oh yeah, don't you realize there is no God? There is nothing I do. Like you can't judge me. No one can judge me. I'll show all of you. If you don't react to this, maybe you'll react to me
Yeah.
attacking the
So,
cathedral with my knights.
maybe no. I'm thinking differently. I'm thinking, um, which this one was the which memory was this? It was 4.
Hmm.
Maybe this becomes um uh, the gods are not real, yet clearly I am
First.
a being of power when compared to the mortals. Yet, what Duse told me of my origins and what I read in my yet what of what Duse told me origins and of what I read in my diary can truly be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
If the gods um, what is true and what is a deception by my distant creator. I test the assumptions one by
Mm-hmm.
one to see which hold true. Well, I guess we'll write this. I will test the assumptions one by one to see which hold true. Uh, Tomorrow I shall stand in the sun, defiance
Yes.
my master's lies.
Just the nihilism just went to such a degree that he just what
Well, it's
is
like if the gods don't
yeah.
exist, I've always been told they did, that they were. Yeah, I was like, one excavated. Yeah, real. Uh, yeah, it's a little bit long one, but that's the end one, so who
It's the
cares?
other one, yeah.
Because in the end, we go out with our knighthood and we
Mm-hmm.
face the sun,
Yep.
and so I can read in my diary here. We have
Yeah.
not actually forgotten a lot about what we were back then.
Mm-hmm.
We've just sort of jumped through these many fronts
Yep.
a lot of times.
We
I remember
skipped forward.
research what he did. We remember the Vault of Erasmus.
I mean
We remember
we
who we are, and we remember being turned right by
yeah. And so we
Ragnar.
having started doubting everything. We just
Yeah, he
st-
said he was a Draugr, but if the Norse gods are fake,
yeah.
then like which part is this mythology? What
Yeah.
and how do you find out? How does a vampire find out if they're really weak to the sun?
That's right.
They see someone else do it, I guess.
I suppose, but
Um, so I guess we take our blade and we stand in this and spread our arms, laughing because we know now that our presumed weaknesses do not
mhm,
exist.
mhm,
Then the burning sensation,
starts.
vaporizes us into a flaming ball,
Yep.
turning to ash. Yet the people here will be well fed for a long time.
Oh
The
yes.
cursed, strange people under the new, knightly sheriff,
Yes.
Black Communion
Yep.
will last probably until the 15th century, where the inquisitorial
Ah yes.
trials will
Inquisition starts.
put them at an end, or maybe they will actually grow and sort of survive this period of terrible stuff, managing to slowly live it out and sort of weather it until the land is free of the vampiric taint.
Well, that is
Yeah,
the story of Ragnar Bjorn Sigurdsson. Uh, lately known as Count Franz von Hohenhoff.
Hmm.
Well, should we do a little bit of a reflection here at the end then over our second
Last
run?
time, right?
Yeah,
We'll look at it and say this ended very suddenly.
very subtly.
We had no skills left, to be fair, so we would have suffered some heavy losses if we got another thing with a skill, but
Yeah,
we had things to lose.
we did. I
Had both
was.
our title, our knights, and our populace, as well as our book. We lost much less than we did last time.
Oh yes, we gained much
And,
more.
and if I may come with a guess here as an insight,
Yeah.
I think the pace of this game has prompts that makes you sort of gain something, lose something, then more that gain something, then more that lose something, and so forth in waves to basically slowly give you these ups and downs, force you to use some things that you don't want to use for certain things,
Yep.
and then give you more, and then sort of up and down. Right? Last time we got stuck in one of the downs and
Yes.
just sort of died out in the 20s.
Yep.
This time we raced through, which I'm happy we did. I was curious to see what would happen.
Yeah.
You all know you're gonna die at some point. That's basically how the game ends.
It's
Right?
true. It's true.
When you die.
It is inevitable destruction. So, but I feel a bit sad that so many prompts were brushed past because suddenly we started moving like two forward, one back, and that went on for a while. And then now suddenly at the tail end here, we just like 8, 9 prompts forward, like just skipping
Yeah.
ahead so much.
No.
It yeah, I wanted to create a 1,000-year-old vampire. Damn it, we only managed how many 100 years? Like
We made it
or
from
did fairly okay, I think
we
actually.
did okay, like, time-wise. We were
9th
pretty strong.
century up to 14th. Okay,
Yeah, so a good 400
good
years-ish.
400 years ish. Yeah,
500 maybe for
half
if
a
we're really
millennium.
generous. Yeah, so it's halfway there, certainly all. Like, I think the idea, right, is that is that what we're creating is not everything that happens to this character. What we're creating is just the book that someone else later on would find. So what we really have made is the diary here, right?
Yeah.
The diary that would be found nowadays in like an old library,
Hmm.
and someone would find would be, like detailed like the diary of Ragnar, right?
Yeah.
And what would it currently have in it? Let's see, to be like a satisfying, creepy thing to find. Old leather-bound book. It would tell of his way to Anglia, of a travel to Anglia with Vikings where people were sick,
Yeah.
and of how a shriveled man with a raspy breath sort of turned us.
Yeah.
It would tell of Ragnar, who we are, where we grew up, who we were, and then how it's a little bit of like a moving there. We tell about how we got turned first, and then how who we were afterwards.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Banneret of Laufen. So you could probably research that and go to Laufen and see that people there have some strange genetic.
Oddities. Yeah.
They live longer, but also more
Yeah, the median,
decrepit.
like the median age of
Mm,
Laufen is like 10 years higher than
mm,
anywhere else in the country.
yeah,
But also there's weird hereditary
mhm,
malformations.
yeah, mhm.
Uh,
People wonder if it's something in the soil. It says we could not return home.
there is
It,
that.
it, it says of Duce here.
Oh, I do say central
Uh,
character. I would say definitely the
Even though
most.
long dead, he stands in my hall.
Yes.
No living thing can enter the vault of Erasmus. We then jump to Duce, says Bradley, as he suggests exactly that. That if you found a a diary with these chapters,
Mhm.
you would be like, okay, this is obviously vampiric. This is almost like it's about us, and then a lot about Duce.
um, It's
Yeah.
it is a lot about Deuce is definitely the most consequential character in the story, except
yeah.
ourselves.
Instead of not even being character.
No, he was just a resource, and then became one. Became a resource again,
Yeah.
and yeah, definitely interesting. I am curious about the story of Duce. You know what he planned, and like
What was his plan?
what was his
He had
plan?
such an idea. He had survived 100 years and found us again and drew us to get the items. I guess he
Yeah.
wanted whatever was in the vault in Constance. Now, if he was from there originally, I mean, did he travel here to find something like
Maybe.
this, or dug up a barrow, and then the locals were like, "Do say he's digging up my ancestors. Get him!" And he hid with us, and then this whole thing happened with the Draugr, and he got excited or something.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly there could be a spin there in his story. How did he end? He got the things he wanted, and then he left.
Yeah.
You know, he told his he was like, son, the story. And the son was hunting again for immortality. So whatever he did with these artifacts, I mean, didn't make him immortal, at least. Yeah, it it was good, I think, especially here at the end. I feel like we really hit a stride
I think so.
with these things. But then, it suddenly, he was vaporized by the sun.
Just his realization that there are no gods. no, you know, no gods, only man. Made him go a little bit crazy and challenge, as you said, starting to disbelieve everything. Just nothing matters. Who knows if any curse or anything is real? And so I will stand, as he said, in defiance at the end. And there he burned. Yeah, I'm happy with the story. I feel like we could have done another, I don't know, 10, 20 prompts probably before I was like feeling ready to wrap this up, because it was going interesting places. But, you know, sometimes dice just fall that way. And and the nihilistic vampire burns because of his own skepticism and inability to realize he's in danger.
Mhm. Yeah.
There are, let's see, there are additional alternate prompts. Yeah. Yeah, there
Yeah,
are.
I mean, it's though I think those are meant for if you play multiple times and keep getting the same ones, you would
Yeah.
replace, if you got the same one on
So-
a future one, you
So
would
if we
replace.
play again and get that centuries or automaton spinning, we might use an alternative prompt.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. The third time you see the same prompt, you can subsume it for something else.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Substitute it.
all meant to be have fun, right? But once you begin to mess with this stuff, you need to make very clear rules to not sort of trip yourself up, if you will.
Yeah. F 72 is the first. Flipping through this very quickly, not reading too much, but 72 is definitely the first. You are caught outside, die. Rocks fall, you die. Prompt, and then there seems to be a few more like coming up there. So yeah, definitely 72 and onwards is the minefield of destruction.
Well, I mean, if you think about it logically, right? It needs to have the last 9 prompts need to be you die.
Oh, so yeah.
Because that's the highest you could possibly roll from a not you die prompt. So
yeah, that's true.
yeah, that's my assumption, having not looked at it.
No, that seems, I haven't looked either. I've just,
And if there's 80, then we would have hit the first one, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
With a beautiful forward 6. Yeah.
Forward. Oh, we need to go back more. We needed some of Tiberius's dice rolling to keep in the game for a bit longer. Go back constantly.
If you really wanted to get to 1,000 years, the best way would be to hit the ones that skip you ahead constantly, right?
True.
100 years pass, 100 more years pass, 100 more years pass. Nothing ever happens, just you being hunted about, always just so this was very much an ending that was our own choice.
Yes.
Tiberius ended up being sort of ragged and filthy and completely in the mercy of others. Right?
Yes.
His death was not. It was not. It was a tale of being not empowered.
Hmm.
But I feel like our time here, we've very much been empowered in most situations. Even when we ran away, we were sort of trying to get back in control of our own life by getting this professor and such. We
Yeah.
lost him immediately, but
I wonder if we spent too many prompts in the same centuries. I'm
maybe.
considering because
But
it says here, like for general guidance, consider the first 7 or 8 prompts you answer to be the first busy years after your character becomes a vampire. Everyone they know is still alive. Blah blah. By contrast, the final experiences might take place as you're in the early 21st century. So it's sort of implicating that.
but by saying that, it basically just means that now we could say, uh, the last memories, you could just artificially, now that we know this is the last one,
Mhm.
we could just jump to the modern era
We could, I
and
suppose.
say, "Oh, and now it is 2022, and the space race, the windows of the spaceship open."
seeing Jeff Bezos
And
in space causes you to feel existential dread in a way you have never felt before.
yeah,
You decide to end it all.
the other runners on your team,
Yes.
they look to you.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe.
I think that's the idea. You can basically describe then how you end in the modern. Uh,
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
that would make you 1,000 years every time, but
Sure.
I think this is more interesting.
I think so
I don't
too.
have a need to be 1,000 years old. I just want there to be interesting stories on the way,
It's true. I
and I
agree.
think there is. Do say it was interesting.
Hmm.
I'm sure you'll be like, nothing can enter the Vote Rasmus. Come here. It's like, yeah, okay. He's like, yeah, I like it, and
Yuzu was the star of the show for sure.
yeah,
I liked our return to our banneret in Lauf and building it up with black wheat and blood knights and stuff. I think that was kind of nice. I liked a little stint in Constantinople.
yeah.
I feel
We spent like a century there, sleeping
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
doing,
I just feel, I
being
just feel
used
there was
by
so
Tuesday and
much.
then betrayed, and then
I just feel like there's so much more to explore.
well, there is, but I mean that's the nature of the game, right? It's
True.
better that it ends early than outstays its welcome.
No, that's true. True.
Because that's the alternative, right? It would be when we're like, okay, I guess we do another prompt.
Yeah. Oh,
Come on,
another
this one again.
resource.
Oh
Oh.
boy, and that would not be great fun either. So I think it's better that it ends while it's fun than
Sure. Sure.
now. How does the length of this compare to the other one we did?
This one is longer by, well, 2 hours maybe, give or take, because the previously 1 hour maybe. I forget exactly how many episodes Tiberius was. I think it was like just 3 or something. Um. So yeah, we went on for longer for sure. I think.
We also made the prompts longer. I've
True.
noticed.
Yeah. No.
We like
We.
some of these are definitely not the like 2 sentence.
No.
Now I think that's fine. Honestly,
It's our story.
I think it even says somewhere here that you can write more if you want to,
Yeah.
but it suggests you keep it somewhat brief, as to actually move on sometimes and to not take too much agency. I think that's what it's afraid of. That
Yeah.
you're like God moding basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we have a good format. I think it is longer than suggested, yes, but we also are two people, so both of our creative minds needs to fit into these prompts. Making them a bit longer just seems fine to me.
Yeah.
I think Grimmeth, last I looked, he was up to like 6 or 7 episodes or something with his character.
Oh, boy.
Which is I don't know how he rolled because I haven't watched, as to not spoil myself of the prompts. But yeah, strange change of pace, certainly, compared to Tiberius. It was just this tortoise crawl, forward.
Yeah, I
Well,
think
mostly
this
back.
certainly gives me the feeling that um, there's more in the game, but of course it's diminishing returns, right? The
Mm-hmm.
more you play it, the less there's going to be for you to discover, the less things, the more you're going to get the same prompts again.
Yep.
Um, and of course, there's alternative ones, basically extended. I figure if I had the physical book, I would just take it like a post-it note,
Yep.
put it over that one, and write the number of
Yep.
the alternative prompt, and then
Yep.
just count it for that
Yep.
for the next time you roll it, right? Then you could always pull it out again if there was like, if you got it again or something, you could look
Mm-hmm.
under there or whatever. But yeah, it's a fun game, and I like it. It's
I
like a
like it.
journaling game. I haven't seen anything else quite like it. I haven't really explored the genre of journaling games, though.
I think this is quite good. Like the
Yep.
prompts are evocative. The theme of just loss and loneliness and cursed existence is compelling. Like you write this sort of tragedy. Although I will say that Ragnar's life was certainly much better than Tiberius. Tiberius was a true
Yeah,
tragedy. It was just misery. This one more of a like he partied so hard that he became nihilistic and killed himself.
it's what you care about, what the character cares about.
Yeah.
Ragnar always cared about recognition and
Yeah.
power and like
Mhm.
strength, right?
Yeah.
And that's something he could more easily create himself. While Tiberius cared a lot about his family, his culture, and his standing, which is
True.
things that he couldn't stop. Like the fact that we lost all of that immediately is sort of it's like
We had
he had no control over that, right? It's not
yeah.
things that stay with him.
Hmm.
They're external things he cared about. Well,
Yep.
Ragnar cared a lot about internal things, like
Mhm.
yeah, his own ability to make the world to do as he wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, he was more of definitely a ruler or an opportunist, in a way.
Mm,
Where
yeah.
poor Tiberius, just
He also just got
wretched
massacred.
existence.
He tried to become like the necromancer lord of Barcelona, and then he got instantly ousted.
Yeah, yeah,
Every time he tried to do anything, he just got ousted. So, hounded and hunted around. And then suddenly, finally, he was captured by like actual hunters with like special weapons and
yeah,
just
yeah,
taken out. Like,
yeah.
all right, there was no way he could assist it really.
I think, looking at this, it's very even between Ragnar and Tiberius. I think I like Tiberius' story a little bit more. Um, Simply because I felt if Ragnar said if I had a few more prompts in here, this would probably win out. It's just the abrupt end of it all, Um, although Tiberius had an abrupt end as well, of the nature of the game, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're gonna end from one prompt to the other.
Was there any aspect of Ragnar's story that you wish we would have explored more, or something that you felt were underutilized that we could have, you know?
So I feel like there's the feeling that we want to know Duce's full story, but it's not about Duce.
No.
He's a side character to us, and that's always going to be like that. We never made it to England.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
We never actually were much of a Viking, really.
No.
We actually, as a definition, weren't a Viking because Vikings are reavers.
Yeah.
We never did that.
No.
Right? We were a cattle raiding boy.
Yep.
That was what- I really liked the concept we came up with for our creator,
Yes.
the Draugr, the like
Yep.
leathery corpse thing.
Yep.
It's nice and creepy, just laying there all quiet and
Mhm.
silent. What wasn't explored that I wanted us to? Hmm, I mean, we never really used our knights for much of anything.
Mhm.
We sort of established ourselves here and ready to sort of weather this century,
Yep.
but then didn't.
Just to
Did
annihilate
you have
ourselves.
did you have something that you're
I think I would have liked a little bit more interaction with Glamour the Draugr, but we never got any prompts that would steer us in that direction. Because
no, we
I
haven't.
liked him as well. He's like this sort of weird living corpse creature that sort of just hides. It's very It's very like trapdoor spider. You know, he just lies still
Yeah.
until someone comes close and then grabs him and drags them in. And there's something about that. I would have liked to do some reaving, vampire reaving in East Anglia. I thought in maybe like, oh, maybe we can do some reaving and then return and claim Gunda and turn her into our vampire bride. You know, there's some stuff like
Yeah.
that could have been really cool.
But it went terrible immediately because we got
Yeah.
discovered.
Yeah, no, we got.
They know, and they banish you, and you're forced to run.
Yeah,
And so we did. We ran
yeah.
to.
But I would have liked to explore that a little bit more. You say yes, interesting character, but he got a lot of screen time, and I'm happy. I feel pretty satisfied with him.
He ran off with the relics in the end.
Yeah.
We don't know what to do what, but that's okay.
I think one of the hardest, most difficult prompts in the game, for me at least, is the ones where it's like, oh yeah, create an immortal character. Very. Yeah, look at Mother Matilda.
Right.
Yeah, it's like Mother Matilda.
We came home, so she could definitely become relevant again. But
true. But those immortal characters are difficult to come up with. At least for me, I don't know what it is exactly, but when that crops up, I'm like, all right, well, I need to think about this for a while now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Man Matilda. She was useful for one prompt in one memory, and that was it. You know, never to be seen again. As you said.
Yeah, she allowed us to become blood connoisseurs. Right. That's
True.
which mattered, but she was certainly the foil for that more so than important. I mean, that said, Halvard came up. I mean, once and then another time, way later, at sort of a because he was there.
Yeah.
You know. Like, it didn't really make a lot of sense that he would show up in Constantinople for some reason.
No.
He was on the list, and so he did.
He was more likely than Glamour or Mother Matilda to be there.
Yeah.
Out of all of these like crazy coincidences.
The Black Forest just showing up. Hello.
Ew.
How can I help you? Oh, well. Medusa, I don't know what to say. This is very. You marry Mother Matilda.
Yeah, Medusa marries Mother Matilda. He does get around, doesn't he?
Oh, maybe he was the founder of that order that captured him. Okay. Tiberius. I think that actually happened way before this. Who lived longer?
Who lived longer?
I think Tiberius died like way before this.
Oh yeah. Ragnar definitely lived longer.
He was actually born before almost. So
yeah. And you refresh your memory.
Yeah.
Dwarf guy. I imagine Dusa looked.
Yeah. Yeah, all weird looking.
Yeah, all wrinkly. Hello.
Oh,
my. All in all, a satisfying adventure.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
Time.
The thing about this is the ending's always going to be abrupt. It's always going to be somewhat unsatisfying. And the game even says there's always going to be stories that just don't get finished.
Yeah.
That just get forgotten by time. That is the nature of the game. That is actually what the game's about, really. It's about forgetting. It's about time sort of
just grinding everything to dust.
Yeah. In the end, nothing mattered, right? You just lost.
We certainly found something.
A bit of a classic ending, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think we made it work. Not the most exciting thing to have happen. I'm sure there's some ending prompts out there that are spectacular.
Oh, I would imagine something incredibly bombastic,
Yeah. You conquer the world. And,
you kill all of your immortal enemies, like mortal and immortal enemies in a grand master stroke. Explain how.
So I don't think you necessarily have to die, maybe, for the game to end.
No.
Like, it could be like, I don't know, this is your last letter or something like that.
Could be.
What does it say? You know, open-ended thing, but I don't know. Um, but yeah, I had a good time getting here, and I think that's the key, right?
Yeah.
I think
I think those are good words to end this with. We had a good time getting here, folks.
yeah. So,
Um,
maybe you will too, if you yourself acquire these things.
yeah.
There's many prompts. We have not gone through, even half of them.
Oh
So,
no. No,
yeah, and even we haven't even used any of the alternative ones. So
no,
if you
exactly. We are
feel encouraged,
yeah, not even
then, yeah,
not even seen 20% of this game yet.
mhm,
Um,
then go and get yourself a copy.
get yourself a copy. There's a look below for the link. There are community copies you can get for free if you so desire. Or you can buy the PDF, or you can even buy the physical book. They are printed and in stores in certain places. I know, for example, my local game store actually has a few copies of this in stock.
I mean, it looks like a beautiful
Oh,
sort of object.
yeah.
You know, there's all these little notes in it,
Yep.
and paper things, and
Right. So I'm considering it. Definitely considering it.
yeah.
But for now, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the story of Ragnar. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.